About 3.5 years ago, I recorded a video. I think it was my first one of me ever recording acid rock, which was Hawkwind, when they did a performance on a UK channel or something like that. I hadn't even read the other two in the package. Well, years later, I said, alright, I'm going to watch Hawkwind again and see exactly what is going on with them. So, of course, Hawkwind is where Lemmy from Motorhead originally came, but then he eventually went and created, well, said Motorhead band. But so I said, alright, what is going on with Hawkwind? Out of the Shadows in concert. And they have 12 they are space rock pioneers with electronica and keyboards and everything else. And they have 14 songs that were recorded in Newcastle Open House in Newcastle, England, December 4th, 2002, 23 years ago. Space Age Machine, Angels of Death, Out of the Shadow, Time Captains, Masters of the Universe, Song of the Gremlins, Time and Confusion, Hurry, Sundown, Lighthouse, The Watcher, Assassins of Allah, Earth Calling, Sonic Space Attack, and finally Silver Machine, probably one of their most famous songs out there. So, how does this 80-minute concert fare, and what are my thoughts on it? Well, with Aerospace Age Machine, it's a good fiery track. What I've noticed is that they're going to have like synthesizers and electronica in here. So we've got just like, what was that, 7 members in this band, and freaking Arthur Brown, yes, Arthur Brown of Fire, is actually in the beginning parts of this with his beard right there, and he adds a certain flair to it. I must admit that I don't know much about it. Angels of Death. This is where 3 to 4 members of the band sing the chorus, and there's a lot of reverb with the guitar, vibrato, etc. It's got a medium to fast-paced riff, and it is there's also a drum trade-off. Overall, a lot of vocals, and it ends but in a good way. Out of the Shadows. It's got a nice galloping rhythm and psychedelic guitar. Let's see. It is, I can't even read. Great. Yeah, got some great drum fills and switches. Then to the bass with vocals. Definitely a guitar-driven song. I mean, this is just outright, just pretty much arpeggios just going on right there. Time Captains. Arthur Brown appears again, and he's wearing pants that the pro wrestler Sabu used to wear. I'm not sure what they're called, but they look so interesting. And he's got an anchor that's upside down. What? Which I get, anchor, and or yes. Ultimately, the song is more percussion based with the synthesizers, and it's also a spaceship, a decree that holds it, the song. He also holds the note very high. And what else do we have here? It's a ballad, definitely a ballad, a more slower number. Masters of the Universe, a riff-based piece. It's got a soaring guitar solo and jumps around on stage, and there's even some LSD projection, which I really liked for this one. This was definitely one of the standouts in my opinion. The Song of the Gremlin, which has got a slower beat. You can even hear some 4x4 playing, and it's very singer-oriented. It's quick, and I guess you could call it an ode to mischief. Time and Confusion. You got some keyboards and bass. Got a slower intro and introspective lyrics. And the keyboards add a sense of worry as he's going about portraying like the confusion and the lyrics mentioned. Hurry Sundown. We got a little bit of a twangy number. I was very surprised. Kind of be reminiscent of the West, if you will. Probably a more conventional song for them, and a single. And it's a nice riff that gets played towards the end. And nothing to do with the Outlaws, Sundown. A Lighthouse, which is, let's see, and a, oh yeah, we actually get a shot of the audience. And a shot. We get a keyboard narrates like a shift drift in space. Ultimately, a great build-up of a song, which I liked in this one. The Watcher bass intros riff plays. It's got a nice reverb, I guess. Arpeggios. This one just didn't do much for me. I'm sorry. This one was the most interesting one. Assassins of Allah. So when they say hashish, this has a Middle Eastern scale, motifs, etc. So it used, like I said, Middle Eastern. There was this guy named I can't even read my own handwriting. Here we go. Hassan E. Shaba, a founder of Nizari Ismaili in Persia, which pretty much was like led to the guild of where the word assassin comes from. It was like he was pretty much like a prominent figure way back when. Earth Calling, which is a medium-paced song. Vocals are the main part. Didn't really do much for me. Sonic Space Attack. An invisible man appears, reads, rolls, which is a choppy riff. What is this establishing? Turns out it has to do with the Orwellian themes of this, which we have Electron something and spoken word for. This was the opening for the album Space Ritual, in which they do with some Orwellian themes of surveillance, mind control, and technology on an impact. Very specifically to do with the Margaret Thatcher, Ronald Reagan era, and finally Silver Machine. One of the biggest songs they ever recorded. Arthur Brown returns with his unique beard. One thing I noticed is that there weren't. This was a toned down stage. There's no woman on the stage, or the lighting wasn't really there too much. Like people jumping on hula hoops or whatever. I'm like, it was toned down. We barely get to saw the audience. Like, what? At least a couple of reactions from them. I mean, we see like maybe 5 people's heads. Other than that, no. So yeah. Ultimately, for the songs, because I'm not too familiar with Hawkwind outside of maybe Hall of the Mountain Grill. This was a good introduction to their 70s and 80s stuff, and it was awesome as heck to see Arthur Brown. But just a toned down stage, not seeing the audience and the lighting, it just didn't hook me that much. The music did, but other stuff, no. So ultimately, if I were to rate this, I don't know, 2.5 out of 4, maybe very light 3. So yeah. But if you want some good psychedelic rock, then I do recommend that you watch Hawkwind, Out of the Shadows.